Hey guys, it's me Seren, back with another video. Today is day 8 of Hidden Figures, and today's hidden figure is jazz harpist and composer Dorothy Ashby, who released 11 solo jazz albums and is credited with popularizing the harp as a jazz instrument, as well as modernizing it for use in the contemporary era. Born Dorothy Jeanne Thompson in Detroit, Michigan on August 6, 1932, Ashby was the daughter of self-taught guitarist Wiley Thompson and was raised in the jazz community. She learned piano and guitar from her father at home, and Ashby also attended Cass Technical High School, known for its legendary music program, where she played bass and string saxophone. After high school, she attended Wayne State University, studying vocal technique and playing the harp in the student orchestra, as well as giving piano recitals where she sang folk songs. In 1952, Ashby purchased her first harp and made her professional debut as a jazz harpist at a nightclub in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Up until then, the harp had primarily been used in orchestras playing classical music, and Ashby was a groundbreaking pioneer in introducing the instrument to more casual audiences. Ashby performed at dances, parties, weddings, and free concerts, releasing several albums and also working in nightclubs through the 1950s. She also gave special concerts in public schools to introduce classical music to Detroit public school students. By the early 1960s, she had married John Ashby and had an established career. She hosted a jazz interview show on a local radio station, performed with Louis Armstrong, and was named an all-star jazz performer by Downbeat Jazz magazine in 1962. She released 5 more albums in the 60s, including Afro Harping of 1968, which was hugely influential to subsequent black jazz harpists. With her husband, Ashby founded the Ashby Players, a performance troupe that showcased Black American dramas in Detroit and Canada, giving many black actors such as Ernie Hudson early experience. For many of the pieces performed by the Ashby Players, John wrote the scripts and Dorothy supplied the music, and many of the plots were around ideas that were considered taboo despite their impact on the black community, such as welfare and abortion. Ashby toured in a trio with her husband, a drummer, until the late 1960s, when she relocated to Los Angeles, California, to focus solely on studio recordings. In the 1970s and 80s, Ashby recorded music with artists like Dionne Warwick, Diana Ross, Bobby Womack, Earth, Wind & Fire, Rick James, The Gap Band, and Stevie Wonder. Her background harp can be heard clearly on such hits as Stevie Wonder's If It's Magic. Fellow jazz great and harpist Alice Coltrane was initially wanted for Wonder's album Songs in the Key of Life, but when Coltrane was unavailable, Ashby was used instead. Dorothy Ashby released her last 2 albums in 1984, both of which included compositions by Thelonious Monk. Dorothy Ashby died of cancer in Santa Monica, California on April 13, 1986, at the age of 53. In addition to her popularizing and modernizing the ethereal harp as a rollicking jazz instrument, Ashby's 1968 album Afro Harp was seen as directly influenced by the Black Power movement and incorporated bop, soul, Brazilian, and Middle Eastern influences along with experimental free jazz. Ashby also pioneered the use of the Japanese koto in jazz on her 1970 album, The Rubaiyat of Dorothy Ashby, which is also seen as influential in its use of soul, world music, and free jazz. During an interview with jazz authority W. Royal Stokes in 1983 for his book Living the Jazz Life, Ashby commented on her career. It's been maybe a triple burden in that not a lot of women are becoming known as jazz players, she said. There is also the connection with black women. The audiences I was trying to reach were initially not interested in the harp, period, classical or otherwise, and they were certainly not interested in seeing a black woman playing the harp. This isn't just a novelty, though that is what you expect. The harp has a clean jazz voice with a resonance and syncopation that turn familiar jazz phrasing inside out. Dorothy Ashby, Hidden Figure. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. There will be links and information in the description box. Food for thought as always. See you guys next time. Peace.